Let's go to Kentucky and visit the Big South Fork Scenic Railway. It's a 16-mile round trip with spectacular scenic vistas, lush vegetation, and mountain streams as we visit an old coal mining camp now preserved by the National Park Service.
The heartland of America is filled with rugged and scenic areas. This is the Cumberland Plateau, close to the Daniel Boone National Forest in southern Kentucky. Once home to vast reserves of timber and coal, it's now home to outdoor recreation and, of course, a railroad.
You are in Stearns, Kentucky, which is in the southeast portion of the state of Kentucky. This area was settled in the late 1890s by a businessman from Michigan. Justice S. Stearns came here in search of virgin timber, and in that pursuit they also began a coal mining operation. The destination today is the coal mining camp of Blue Heron, and that is part of the Big South Fork National River and Recreation Area. It sits on 125,000 acres of land in Kentucky and Tennessee. Blue Heron was one of the coal mining camps operated by the Stearns Coal and Lumber Company.
23-year-old Matthew Jones is the engineer for the train ride. He started working for the railroad when he was just 18.
I started as conductor. Conductor's the boss of the train. Tells the engineer when the train's ready to go. Helps keep the time and the scheduling. We've got a 1951 EMD SW9, and we're pulling 5 cars today, 2 enclosed, 3 open cars. And the scenery is beautiful.
Music has always been a part of life in this area, and that's still the case today. Visitors are entertained the minute they enter the station. Established in 1974 as an interpretive center, this wild and rugged area allows visitors to experience life in the mid-20th century, when coal was king.
The Blue Heron mine, or mine number 18, was opened in August of 1937 and operated until December of 1962. The Big South Fork was designated by Congress in March of 1974 as the Big South Fork National River and Recreation Area. And the purpose was to preserve the river and to preserve the history and the culture of the area, but at the same time provide recreational opportunities. Essentially, the purpose of it was to bring people back into the area. Mining, logging, and timbering, sawmilling were big industries here, but those were based on the resources. Those resources were largely taken out in the 30s and 40s and into the early 50s.
People have returned to the area. Using the right-of-way of the former Kentucky and Tennessee Railroad, the Big South Fork Scenic carries between 28,000 and 30,000 people each year during their April through December operating season. While most of the structures have long been demolished, some things have been preserved so that visitors can get a feeling for what once was.
The first thing they're going to see is the coal tipple. That's the dominant structure. It was the center of the entire operation at Blue Heron. The tipple was what made the mine operate. It sorted, sized, loaded the coal. That was, the focal point of the entire community. They'll see that. That's really the only original structure still here. But they'll also notice a number of ghost structures. These are structures that represent where the original houses used to be, the company store, the church, and the school. Most of the buildings were long gone by the time the National Park Service came on the scene, and rather than trying to rebuild a temporary mining camp, it was decided to build these ghost structures out of metal framing and metal roofs on the original location of the original structure, following the same footprint, if you will, of what that structure would have looked like. The Big South Fork is a pretty wild and rugged area. It's always been difficult to get to. It's inaccessible, wild, rugged gorges. It's a free-flowing river. So recreation is a big part of what the area is about.
Your train ticket is also good for a visit to the McCreary County Historical Museum. There you'll find recreations of life in the mining camps, as well as historical memorabilia.
I believe people come here for a couple of different reasons. Obviously, the beautiful scenery that we have in this area, it's unlike that of any other part of Kentucky. But they also come for just the slower pace of life and the friendly people that we have here. And it's a piece of history that doesn't get a whole lot of attention.
Whether you just want to explore the outdoors or experience life as it once was, stop by the Big South Fork Scenic Railway.
We had an enjoyable time, and we'll come back and see us again real soon in the future. Thank you so much.